When I started working as a freelance designer, I was working hard, I was delivering for clients, and I was saying yes to literally everything. But honestly, I was making some really bad mistakes that I didn't know about at that time. Today, I'm going to talk about 3 of these mistakes, and if you are a freelance designer, there's a good chance that you are dealing with at least one of them right now. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Fortune. I'm a freelance designer. I currently run a studio called Famous Design Studios. And on this channel, I'll be talking about design, freelancing, and the creative side of running a design agency. And if that's your thing, stick around and let's get straight into it. The first mistake, and honestly the one that drained me the most, was having no limit to revisions. When I started out, I had this mindset that the client is always right, and my job is to keep them happy no matter what. So if a client came back and wants to change a whole concept, I just do it, no pushback and no additional cost. And the truth is, some clients will keep changing their mind forever if you just let them. Today they might want this, tomorrow they might want something completely different. And they are just sitting there as a designer, redoing everything over and over again, getting more and more frustrated every single time. I remember getting to a point where I genuinely got tired and I was always scared to open any notification I get from a client. But along the line, things started changing. I started having a set of revisions for every design work that I'm doing for clients. So what changed? I started drafting a contract, and in the contract I add the number of revisions that you would have per round of any project that I'm working on. And once the number of revision is exceeded, anything beyond that comes at an extra cost. At the moment I did that, everything completely changed. Clients now started having more solid feedbacks. Projects started moving much more faster, and I started feeling like I wasn't being taken advantage of anymore. So if there's anything you are going to get from this video, make sure that when you're working on a project, set revisions limits, put it on a contract. It will save you so much time and a lot of headaches down the line when you start working on a project. And the second mistake I was making generic designs. What do I mean by that? Let's say I'm working on a real estate company, I'm designing a logo for them. Back then, if I'm designing a logo for a real estate company, the first thing that comes to my mind is how to use the image of a house, maybe a window or a door, physical things that are applicable to a real estate company. And yeah, back then it made a lot of sense. But over time, I discovered that I was making designs that did not stand out. The design just looks like a generic design that you can just get off the internet. It felt cheap and it felt like it had no meaning to it. The shift for me came when I realized that great logos, great designs do not necessarily have to show what the business or what the company does, but rather it needs to evoke a sense of feeling. It has to show you who the company is. It has to be memorable. It has to make someone look at it and feel something, not just a generic random design that someone can see on the internet. So now when I'm working on brand design projects, I ask questions that will make me design something that will make the company stand out. I ask questions like, what makes them different from other businesses? What emotions do they want people who see their design to feel whenever they see it? And now the third mistake I was making as a freelance designer then was always letting the client to run the show. What that basically mean was that as a designer, I was just a mouse pusher. If a client tells me change this font, I'll change it. If a client wants me to add any shape to their design, I would add it. No pushback. I was simply just a mouse pusher. I was doing all of this, even though it didn't make sense to me as a designer, but just so I could easily get paid. And yet that was not professional at all. At the end of the day, I end up designing something that is horrible. I can't even put it to my portfolio because there's no design thinking behind it. And so the lesson that I've learned is when a client hires you, they're hiring a professional. So they are not just hiring you for just your skill using a design tool, they're hiring your experience, your understanding of design. So whenever they have ideas that are not appropriate for their project, I don't just sit back and let them dictate how the design is going to go, but rather I speak up, explain to them why this would not work, why this is not appropriate for their industry, with enough evidence and showing them proof why what they are thinking of would not be appropriate. So I have to lead the project, I have to do my research, come up with concepts, walk the client through my thinking. They can give me ideas. Yes, I actually love it when they do, but I'm the one that decides what works and what doesn't. And I explain why, and that's what professionals do. And the truth is, the right client will respect that And if a client cannot trust your judgment 100% when you're working with them, it just means that you're not the right fit for the job. So guys, these are the 3 mistakes that I've made during my career as a freelancer: giving unlimited revisions, making generic designs, and letting the client lead the project. All these 3 mistakes held me back while I was starting up as a designer. Fixing them has genuinely changed how I work and how I feel towards my work. So guys, I would love to know if any of you have dealt with any of these problems. Feel free to drop a comment. And if this was useful and helpful to you, feel free to like and subscribe. I post videos like this regularly, and I'm going to see you guys in the next one.